Hi, I'm Matt with Hoboken Horology, and today I want to talk about Omega natos. Are they really worth it? So we're going to talk about the Omega NATO and its pros, its cons, and is it really worth it? So let's take this off. Okay, so I'd like to start, I'd like to begin by saying the feeling of the NATO strap. I'm going to go into a few different things, and I'm also going to put in where maybe $180, which is what I originally paid for this, versus a $18 watch band. But really this was like $12. This was pretty inexpensive. So let's go into it. The feeling. This is very coarse. The feeling of this strap is very coarse. I do like how it wears on the watch. I like that when you put it on the watch, you can tuck the extra strap in. So if I just loop this through, like so, and throw this on my wrist, you can see that the strap it's definitely more stiff than the Omega band, but what I like about it is that this extra piece can get folded and shoved in, and it fits nicely. It looks good on the piece, but the color is off. Now, you know what? Let me finish about the feeling first, and then we'll go into color. So the feeling of this feels like a seatbelt. It feels very much like a car seatbelt. It does, and actually that is it doesn't sound very comfortable, but it's a very comfortable feeling on the wrist. I actually haven't had a material so comfortable. I've had NATOs made of everything, leather, this canvas material. I've also had this lighter fabric kind of cotton that was very, very nice. This is extremely comfortable. It is very comfortable. It's very comfortable to wear. It's longer than most NATOs I have, so it should fit any wrist that you have. So the Omega logo really plays a lot into it for me, because a friend of mine was like, hey, who sees that? But, I see it, and the Omega NATO, it is important to me. You're wearing the Seamaster 300, or better yet, you're wearing the Spectre. And I'm not sure. I think that the Spectre NATO actually has the 007 on the NATO. So in essence, this would be the actual Bond NATO. This would be the NATO that doesn't have any markings except for the watch, the company's name on it. So here it is, Omega, right here. It falls, so when you wear it on the wrist, you see that it shows Omega right there nicely on there. And on the back, if you can make it out, there's a model number, just some writing about stainless steel parts and everything like that. I will have to say that I have problems with the excess of the strap. I have a little bit of problem with what to do with the extra bits of strap. So it fits on nicely. I would wrap it through. The strap is just a little too long. I wish it was just a little bit shorter. I kind of hide mine back. I try to put it as a little back. I have the Omega logo here. And what's interesting about this NATO is this piece is floating. Where you'll see on other NATOs, that piece doesn't really exist. Here it is locked in. On Omegas, it's floating, which makes it really comfortable, actually. And, mine has a lot of marking. I've had this band for over a year, I'd say, and I've banged it up so much. So sometimes I'll wear it up here, but you can even wear it up against the wrist here for a different look. So to go into this some more, let's go into the differences. This is the non-official band. I wore this for a while before I bought the Omega band, and it really bothered me. I really wanted the official band. And I'm going to go into a little bit of a taboo subject here. The wearing this band with the actual Omega watch, for me, is a little bit of a taboo thing because a lot of fake Omegas I've seen, mostly Spectres, not a lot of Seamaster 300s. This watch is very difficult to fake because there are telltale signs on the fakes that are very, very easy to pick out. I can actually pick one out in just a few moments. But the strap, having a fake strap, or not fake, but having a non-Omega NATO on your Seamaster 300, for someone like me, it kind of raises an eyebrow. Like, I will kind of be a little suspicious right off the bat. Like, it's a little strange because this NATO is so off. And I've seen a lot of fake Spectre watches on the forums, on Omega forums. People have the fake watch and they have it on this band and they say, hey, is this a real watch and is this the real band? There's just such a huge difference between these two, the build quality. Now, is this worth $180? I don't know. Am I happy I own it? Yes. Am I glad I bought it? Yes. Would I buy another one? I definitely would. But it's hard because this band, this NATO band, this band that's made out of fabric, basically cost as much money as most people's wristwatches. A lot of people I know wear Seikos. They wear nice watches, really nice watches, and their watches are generally $200. This NATO band is worth as much money as most people's watches themselves. That being said, it makes sense that it costs so much because of how much this guy costs. So, if you look at the cost of the Seamaster, it makes sense that you're going to spend almost $200 on a band for it. Originally, I like the gray more than this almost greenish color. This looks a little bit more green to me in person. But again, when you're not wearing the official Omega NATO, and it's not the official strap, it comes into question on if you're wearing a real piece or not. And having that little Omega name does mean a lot. And it feels great too. The NATO is great. I'm not going to get into wearing this on a Speedy or wearing it on a non-Seamaster or non-Spectre because I have a very interesting opinion. A lot of people wear the Sean Connery NATO with the Seamaster, or they wear the Omega NATO with the Rolex, and to me it doesn't make any sense. They're two completely different companies, two different types of James Bond NATOs. But, I digress, so that's for another day. This NATO is worth the money. It is. The Omega NATOs are worth it, okay? If you are buying a luxury watch, if you're buying an Omega, why wouldn't you buy the strap that comes with it? Omega didn't make a NATO exactly like this and put their logo on it and call it a day. They made a really fine NATO. It's really nice. Hey, if somebody that was an Omega was offering NATOs that were up to this quality for $60 or $70, I would be tempted to buy them. But nobody makes really high quality NATOs. And if they do, they have those giant buckles on them, or they have their high quality leather. I own a high quality leather NATO, and it's fantastic. If people made more expensive NATOs, there'd be a market for them. People would buy them. It's interesting to talk about this NATO strap because it's something that I kept going back to. I was thinking about it the other day, and it's funny, I really love the bracelet for the Seamaster, but I do like wearing this strap. It comes with the Spectre version of the watch, but why couldn't it have come with the regular Seamaster too? It's a shame, but since I bought it, I do use it a lot. I only use it on this piece. Of course, the lugs are supposedly 21.5 millimeters across, so it's a very specific NATO. For this watch, I use 20 millimeter NATOs. Some people online use 22 millimeter NATOs. I use 20. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Are they worth it? In my opinion, yes, they are. Are you going to go out and buy like 2 or 3 different NATOs, a red one, a black and gray one for the Speedy, a red one for your Planet Ocean? I don't know. This NATO is very nice. It's a fine quality. They gave me curved spring bars. If you know my channel, I talk about spring bars a lot. So they gave me curved spring bars for this. And this NATO it's cool. It's comfortable. It fits well. There is a con. Let me talk about the con. Other than the price, they used the spring bar on the buckle, which is a point of failure. So this is a point of failure for this spring bar, for this strap. I'm sorry. So that is a huge negative. NATOs. I don't have my other one with me right now, but NATOs are built so that there basically is no point of failure on a NATO except for maybe the holes on a cheap Chinese NATO strap. I've had these holes. But look at this. I've had this strap for, I'd say, over a year, and the hole I use the most is slightly worn. But if I was to give this to someone, it would be tough for them to see which placement I use most often. You know, I'm tempted to buy another Omega NATO. If more companies made NATOs, especially higher-end NATOs that were for sale to just the general public, weren't always something that came on their pieces, I think that people would buy them. I think that people would spend the money on a really nice NATO. I mean, imagine if Rolex made the Sean Connery Bond NATO. Imagine if they released a Rolex NATO on that. People would buy it. Actually, I think everyone who owns a Rolex Submariner, especially an older sub, like a large crown sub, would buy one. Hopefully this video wasn't too long and you didn't cut out halfway through. I probably would have. But again, I'm Matt with Hoboken Horology. You know, you could have been watching any other video on YouTube, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So thank you for watching.